Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're here to talk about the reintroduction of PARA and Prevail, what I consider to be some of the most important intellectual property measures that we can put into place to make sure that the United States continues to be the innovation leader of the world. We will go to questions. I'm only going to spend about another minute here just in introductions. First off, I want to thank my colleague of many years, Chris Coons. We have at times either been the chair or ranking members in the Intellectual Property Subcommittee for Judiciary. And Chris, I don't know if there's ever really any difference depending upon the only advantage is when you're the ranking member, you don't have to be there for the entirety of the hearing if you don't want to be. But no, in all seriousness, we've worked very closely together. We've done great things. In fact, I believe that with our colleagues in the House, we've probably got some of the most production out of our subcommittee and real results of just about any committee. I will at least speak for the Senate. My focus has been on Prevail and following Senator Coons' lead. On PARA and Senator Coons' lead on Prevail. With PARA, we just have to realize that we have jurisprudence. There's so much uncertainty now that it's very difficult in this jurisdiction for people who are making massive investments to know whether or not they're going to be able to recoup them. And we've got to do things differently. And in fact, we're looking at other territories that may be a safer haven for intellectual property, which is remarkable to me when you consider the fact that we're one of the few nations that actually have intellectual property protections written into our Constitution. So we've got to get back on focus. We had a markup in Prevail. There were a lot of people who opposed it and said that would never happen. Well, folks, it happened. So this is the time to come to the table and see if we can address your concerns, because we intend to move the bill. And in PARA, we expect a markup in this Congress as well. So again, I want to thank my colleagues for being here. We'll let them do brief introductions and answer any questions you have. I agree with Congressman Kiley, but I think more fundamental, we do the work. We have had endless work groups. We get the stakeholders to the table. We work hand in glove with the House to address people's concerns, which is precisely why I said we want there are two reasons why you would object to maybe Prevail. Some because you have a legitimate concern about obstacles it could create for you in the future. Others because you've enjoyed a provision for a certain period of time, good on you, but it's at the expense of other industries that need certainty. So let's just be honest about it. I've told all the people who have opposed these bills, if you do it respectfully, if you show up, if you present use cases that are instructive to potential legislative changes, fine. If you try to go behind the scenes and undermine what we're trying to do and not at the table, I don't care if you're on the table. So let's get to work, let's address the concerns, and let's keep the tradition. Our committee has never been accused of jamming people or going too fast. We are committed to doing the work and getting it right for every inventor who benefits from our IP laws.
How many witnesses did we have across 3 hearings on PARA last time?
Oh, I don't know. How many witnesses do we have on PARA in the work groups? 50. I mean, we're not doing these 5-minute interviews in legislative committees, folks. We're doing real work, and we expect that work to be respected and have people come to the table and get a good outcome for everyone. And for a few who maybe benefited from a provision for a period of time that we can no longer accommodate, I'm glad that you had that beneficial position for a period of time. But we've got to strike a balance for all of the stakeholders. And I'm going to speak openly and candidly about it and work with anybody who comes in good faith and let's just say not warmly receive people that are trying to undermine our efforts through guerrilla warfare up on the Hill. I have no patience for that. Thank you all.
Any other questions?